This is done so often by US and Chinese car manufacturers, car brands. They essentially say, look, here's a Tesla, here's our car. Can you see why you should buy our car? It doesn't always work, as some dealerships have discovered. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm Sam Evans. You're watching the Electric Viking. Now, first of all, I hate these strategies. I just think, really, guys, I used to have a startup, a company that sold bicycles, triathlon parts. We had thousands and thousands of different things, parts, and there was millions of dollars invested in this company. It has since, we moved this company to Taiwan. It grew really fast, and this was a tough business. Now, we were selling internationally for a few years there. I moved with my family, with Shanna, and we had Jack at the time. We moved to Taiwan. We lived in Taiwan for about 8 months, and eventually we moved back to Australia. And I stepped away and sold my percentage of that business back to other investors, and I started up a B&B, actually. Bought a B&B and built some little units, and we had about 10 different units, and that was in Victoria, actually, in sort of on the outskirts of Melbourne. So that's sort of a little story I don't think I've shared on the channel before. But that got me to thinking, in business, what are some of the things that I've done to try and compare bikes? Now, what I did is I tried to say, hey, our bicycle has this spec, and if you buy from someone else, it's going to likely have this spec. I wouldn't actually, say, hey, look at this brand, look at our brand, look how we are better than them. I think that's a bit of a dirty tactic. I'm not a big fan of that. I think it's a bit too aggressive. I know that a lot of dealerships feel pressured. They feel like they need to do that, but it doesn't always work. A Ford dealer has created this spreadsheet, right? It's a Tesla Model Y versus a Mustang Mach-E comparison. And it's kind of laughable how bad this went. Now, these Ford dealership was sharing this with prospective Ford customers. And basically the spreadsheet, it says the Tesla Model Y is better than a Ford Mustang Mach-E, but they didn't realize this somehow. Finding the right new car can be complicated. There's so many different models, and now there's so many different models of EV in that space, in the Tesla Model Y space. You've got the Ioniq 5, that's a similar kind of shaped car. You've got the Kia EV6, you've got the Mustang Mach-E, you've got the Toyota BZ4X. I don't think you should even walk into a Toyota dealership and consider one of those. You've got the Subaru Solterra, also equally not great. Anyway, there's a lot of cars in this segment, so it can get confusing. And this Ford dealership's like, well, you know what, we'll create a spreadsheet, we'll make it easy for people, we'll show them how the Mustang Mach-E is the best. Yeah, it actually makes the Model Y look like it's the best. According to a Reddit user who shared photo evidence on the Tesla Lounge thread, the chart is being used by Ford salesmen to promote their electric crossover against Tesla. It meticulously compares key specifications of the two, including acceleration, top speed, range, battery capacity, power output, cargo space, seating capacity, charging speeds, and prices. It's pretty funny, guys, because the Model Y actually comes out ahead in nearly every category. Despite having more powerful motors and bigger batteries, the Mustang Mach-E is behind the Tesla in terms of both acceleration, range, and actual value for money. To make matters worse, the claimed range of the Model Y standard range is now old. So obviously the dealerships are actually sharing an old version of the Model Y versus the current version of the Mach-E. So now the Model Y, the cheapest version of the Model Y, is actually the long-range rear-wheel drive, which has 320 miles of range, or 60 miles more than the previous cheapest Model Y, which was the standard range. Anyway, here's the thing. That vehicle compares on price with the entry-level Ford Mach-E Select, which has 230 miles of range. Ouch. I mean, 320 miles for the Tesla versus 230 for the Mach-E. That's a 90-mile gap. Anyway. The Mach-E Select and Premium all-wheel drive trims are priced lower than their rival Tesla Model Y standard range and long-range models, but only the flagship Mach-E GT is more expensive than the Model Y Performance. That said, if you compare Ford Mach-E prices and variants versus Tesla variants, you'll find the standard specification and range and performance of the Tesla vehicles here, the Model Y long range, the Model Y Performance and the Model Y long range all-wheel drive, they are actually better value than the Mach-E. I think most people would agree with that. Unless you're a hardcore Ford fan, you're probably pretty likely to agree with that. So I don't think this was a smart decision by these Ford dealerships. Now, apparently, some people have actually gone to this Ford dealership, and they've looked at this chart, and they've kind of gone, hang on a minute, maybe I'll just buy a Tesla. Then I don't have to deal with a salesman. I can just get online and order it online. So this is kind of advertising a Model Y. It's kind of backfired really for this Ford dealership and potentially other Ford dealerships who might have used this information. Backfired really, and it's promoting Tesla more than anything else. So really ultimately, Tesla should be thanking Ford for advertising their products for them. Thanks for watching.